everybody. How are we this evening? Good stuff, good stuff. Well, I'm Gordon from Glasgow, and yeah, I've been living in London for a number of years, and I'm a sober Glaswegian, so I don't drink anything. Oftentimes that perplexes English people when I first move. You're a sober guy, Glaswegian that doesn't drink. They'll be like, Gordon, you got drink. I have to tell them, I have to be honest, my drinking was so bad that even the Glaswegian alcoholics were like, get him the fuck out. They have lock-ins and they fucking lock me out. And moving to London, like 2008, I started to notice sort of regional disparities in kind of drinking habits. So, like the further north you go from Watford, the more fucking mental people's drinking gets. And I guess what I kind of captured was that in London, what classifies as concerning behaviour, actually when you classify that up in Glasgow, is more like likes a drink. But yeah, you'll also notice I don't have a strong Glaswegian accent, and that is because I'm a posh Glaswegian. Let me paint you a picture. Being a posh Glaswegian is a little bit like being the tallest dwarf. The upper middle class will just always be out of reach. But growing up in a posh suburb of Glasgow, the living was plentiful, it was easy. So I had the £16 bottle of vodka, probably £8 bottle of vodka. I was kind of cruising around with Smirnoff while everyone else was mooching around with Lidl's own brand Rachmaninoff. And for that extra £8, I could really get a better brand of regret the next morning. But it's not all glitz and glamour up in Glasgow. At one point, Glasgow was the murder capital of Europe, and then we left Europe. And I did some research on this, and a large proportion of the murders in Glasgow come from an area called Govan. Now, Govan to Glasgow is what Croydon is to London. It's the arsehole of the city, basically. And I actually found a Reddit comment which summed up Govan beautifully. It said, Govan is an unmitigated shithole, and no amount of downvoting is going to change my mind. And that comment had over 200 upvotes. But for those of you that don't know what Reddit is, congratulations on losing your virginity. But my family has roots in Govan, so my uncle owns a factory there, and every summer as a teenager I'll get jobs working for him. And one summer I had to paint the buildings, which is a very safe thing for a 15-year-old to be doing. But I was paired up with a veteran employee named Wee Malk. For you English people, that's Little Malcolm. And Wee Malk was a tough guy, right? Like, he would fucking headbutt you to say hello. And we worked together all summer, and we had a lot of disagreements, mainly around literature. So I knew how to read, he did not. And one morning he came into the changing rooms to find me reading a book, and he was pretty cross. He looked at the book, and he looked at me, and he goes, "You fucking poof or something." Not very good at but for you English people, that's him questioning my sexuality. But yeah, all I was trying to do was read a bit of Dostoevsky before the shit started. And it turns out that's a bigger crime in Govan than shoplifting. But yeah, that was always the way for me at work. Never being able to kind of fit in and always sort of annoying people, especially my drinking days. So when I first moved to London in 2009, chasing the big career in finance, got my job at the dream job, only lasted 1 week. And what happened was I joined on the Monday, and I went out on a work night out on the Friday, and ended up in a strip club with the corporate issued Amex, where I spent $3.5 grand on the strippers and champagne. Finally, the appreciation I deserve. So the following week in the meeting with HR about said incident, I thought I could save my job by explaining to HR that I didn't actually drink any of the champagne, I just sprayed it all over. And that's been me and Gordon Carrick. Thank you very much.
Big